Hello, good people. Welcome back to the Kuhb Games YouTube channel. We have a very special guest here, and congratulations are in order. We have NovaEthos here on the channel today. For all three of you who have watched the Jeopardy series, you may know him from there. So a little bit of a return to the channel. NovaEthos took down GGP Maryland recently and got his invite to the GOAT Format World Championship, playing none other than, I believe this is sort of a version of Thunderclap. That's what it said on the stream. It looks like Thunderclap to me, but we haven't really seen a whole lot of results from the Thunderclap deck. And also, like, if you all know NovaEthos, you know that there's going to be some spice in any deck that he brings, and man, this one does not disappoint. I'm sure you all have already seen the thumbnail. I'm sure you all are already looking down at the trap lineup. We're going to get to that card a little bit later, but yeah. NovaEthos, congratulations once again on your win and your invite to the GOAT Format World Championship. Go ahead and say hi and introduce yourself.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on. It's what a great introduction. Yes, I am NovaEthos, lover of all things GOAT, Rogue, and everything in between. I built this deck in preparation for a pretty turbo-heavy field, and it turns out that my prediction was right, and it ended up working out for me. But yeah, it was a real surreal experience. You know, this is my first ever invite to the Go Forward World Championship, so that's really exciting. I was getting to a point, you know, being in the Go community for around 3 years. I was like, am I ever gonna get an invite? But you know, I just stuck to what I love to do, which is playing Spice, and ended up working out. So here we are.
Yeah, always love to see players sort of sticking to their guns, playing this off-meta stuff. And, you know, honestly, I think sometimes you can gain a little bit of an edge by playing, you know, not just the stock turbo warrior list and stuff like that. So, yeah, very happy to see you do well with this and to, you know, just stick to what you do best. But this list is your baby, so I'm going to let you go ahead and go over it however you would like.
Yeah, absolutely. So this deck originally started out as just an exploration with using the synergies between zombies, of course, and Zaborg, the Thunder Monarch. But what I realized quickly is that, you know, Zaborg plus Ryukoki, it's very bricky. You have like your bud playing around, you know, 2 Zaborg, 2 Koki, so it's just not that great. Even if you try to put in something like a Brain Control to that, Brain Control and Zaborg aren't that great together. They sometimes can be, but so I kind of abandoned that strategy. Actually, there was like an intermediary build where I had like only playing the level 4 zombies, like Regenerating Mummy. I think I had like 3 Reaper, 3 Regenerating Mummy, and like 1 or 2 Book of Life. And then I just was like, okay, I want to simplify this. And so I basically took out that Book of Life, like extra zombie package, and I switched it for a warrior package. And I did this for a few reasons. One is as I mentioned before, you know, it was a very turbo heavy field, so I wanted to get ahead of that. And, you know, I was thinking, okay, how best to do that? And Zaborg is already pretty strong against turbo, but there is hidden, like a little hidden advantage with Mind Control and Gravekeeper Spy. So Mind Control, I feel like, is just not as good in the main deck if you're not playing Spy yourself. And, you know, because most Thunderclap, I don't know, there hasn't been that many Thunderclap lists out there, I guess. Most of them, I mostly based some of the concepts off of some return lists, because those typically play Zaborg, like Nate Dogg and Dingo's lists. And so I decided to just kind of go with that, because those also play Spy. And so I was like, okay, Spy and then Mind Control. And so, okay, so that's like one interaction. But where Mind Controls also pair well with is with the Reapers. And this is because you can mind control whatever your opponent has. You know, Turbo is going to be setting all sorts of cards. And then you get a clear hit with Reaper. And this was something that I did a lot during the tournament. I would just mind con whatever they had. You know, it was awesome when it was a spy. And then you can even add extra pressure by like summoning everything in attack mode. I got very aggressive with spy during the tournament. And you know, it paid off a lot because it's a lot easier to deal with one spy than two spies. So, yeah, there were even scenarios where I would mind con a spy, get out my own spy, and that would instantly be tribute fodder for Zaborg. So it was an interaction that worked out really well. So we talk about cards sometimes that, you know, like to stay on the field longer, like sticky cards, and Reaper and Spy are two of the stickiest cards in the Go format. So they just pair really well with Zaborg overall. So those interactions were working really, really well. Now looking at the Warrior package, we have 2 Rhoda to 5 Warrior, which I think is a ratio. I've even played 2 to 4 before, although I think that some people might say that's crazy. But I 2 to 5, and it's not your standard Warrior lineup. There's no Exiled or level 2, and that's mostly because we have the Mind Controls and Zaborg, and they kind of fulfill the same purpose. Instead, we have DD Assailant, which I just kind of hedged for any sort of aggro matchup. And I played a zombie list in Swiss, ironically. They were on like the cool like card destruction, like Thunder Dragon Chaos build too.
Ooh.
But so shout out to that player first round. And after that match, I didn't really see much aggro. So DD Assailant came out most game one after most game ones.
Sure.
Same with Zombira. Actually, I did keep in most of the time because it's just a great card against Spy, and in game 2s, you and Turbo can bring in like Haikus and their own Zombiras, so it can be helpful to clear those. Now Mataza was overperforming in the deck, and this is something that I didn't really expect. But it pairs well with Mindcon because you can hit for 26 really quick. And if you have a spy or something, you can get that up to 38, and that's like already half your opponent's life points. But what's also cool is that if your spy gets knocked, so do theirs, and vice versa. And then Mataza becomes a lot stronger because you can, pretty much attack freely. You're only going to get walled by like Sook or Knight Assailant. You get over everything else. So actually, the pairing of Mataza and Spy, I feel like I've only seen a couple times before, but it's a pairing that I think actually has some underrated synergy. And then Blade Knight, mostly just for an extra light. Where there's only 5 total or 4.5, as sure. Some Warrior players will say because of DD Warrior Lady. Then DD Warrior Lady, which is another card. And similar to DD Assailant, like, they will stay on the field more than your average Warrior. And so that just sometimes you contribute them off for Zaborg, and that's fine too. So just really, and same with Zombira, like, it can just sit in attack mode, and then I've seen Zombira be played in some Thunderclap variants as well. So the Warrior list was just kind of it's kind of a Thunderclap type Warrior list where there's a bit more synergy with Warriors that will stick around for a bit longer and be potential Zaborg tribute fodder. Sure. Yeah, and then we have one Magician of Faith, the same reason kind of Warrior does play Magician of Faith. It gets knocked and your opponent get knocked as well, and you don't have to worry about that as much. But it also can kind of just slide in and get you a free plus. Kaiku was great, just a little extra aggro. And then Songon Breaker and VLS are kind of all staples.
Yep.
And then for the spells, we talked about the Mind Cons. We have Trin, Heavy, one Smashing, just to balance out the. I almost thought about playing 3 Mind Con, But smashing can be clutch, and it is a bit more versatile. So I did also enjoy having that in the main because it pairs with Reaper and kind of the hand control part of the deck. Mystical Space Typhoon was good as well, and you can kind of play mind games with that and Zing, and we'll get to Zing in a second. But I'm really excited to talk about the trap lineup actually. So I'll just go through the rest of the spells really quick. We have the standard 2 knock, 2 Rhoda, and Snatch. Okay. All right. So where to start with the trap lineup? The whole point of the trap lineup is to make your opponent like really think twice about how many back row they're setting. So Robbin Goblin is one example of that. So this card can proc in the most random of ways. You can proc it when Zabira hits over something like a breaker or a tribe. You can proc it when you summon the Zaborg and clear your opponent's only set monster and have that attack direct. You can proc it when Mataza hits one monster and then swings direct for another attack. You can proc it when your opponent attacks your set spy. You can get aggressive with Songon, and they have to like Saku your Songon because they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose a card from their hand. But to be completely honest, this goblin was eating a lot of breakers during the tournament. So it really didn't get off as much as I wanted it to. But yeah, it's I kind of am calling this version of Thunderclap Goblin Science because, as I just explained, there's like a lot of hidden synergies between these cards and the chip damage they can do. So yeah, Goblin Science. We have a call, but we don't have a Prima.
Yeah.
And that was because I just wanted to. I don't really know. I think I was thinking about life points and just thinking that I wanted to conserve them a bit more with only playing 2 Solemns. So it didn't like scale as well by playing a Prima. I don't know. This list could maybe use Prima though. I also was thinking like call on Songon is like not the worst play. So I'm glad I just at least had a call in there. Prima maybe is something that could be added. Mirror and Ring are standard, I'd say. And TT for the most part. You might think like, oh, why would you play TT if you always are gonna have like spies and reapers on your field? And it's true, sometimes that happens, but it sometimes will allow you to go for a push where you like your opponent has like you have like an even number of monsters, and maybe you want to like flip up something and then flip up a TT and then clear the field for Reaper or something, and just normal summon the Reaper. Like sometimes that can happen. So TT was actually pretty decent for me throughout the tournament. And then 2 Solemn, which again, Warrior players looking at this and cringing. Many players looking at this and cringing. Let's be real, because 2 Solemns does not scale the same way 3 does. But I just wanted both a way to stop like some major plays, as well to provide protection for Robbin and Zing. So yeah, I think this card is just the best trap card in GOAT, and I definitely probably didn't even use it. I mean, I know there was times during the tournament that I didn't use it as well as I could have, and we'll get to that in the finals match. But overall, I was happy with 2.
Okay.
Trap Dushu. So it kind of trap Dushu. I'm glad that these are next to each other because they kind of play off each other. Because like, oh, we have Zing. We wanna, or if I might have the threat of Zing, it would be like, oh, do I keep more cards in my hand? But then if you keep more cards in your hand, then you're vulnerable to Dust Shoot. So there's only one of each, because all they need to do is see one, and then they start playing around the whole time. So I think, obviously, anyone that's playing more than one Zing in the main is honestly a true Spice, like ascending Spice Lord. But people can be on 1, 2, 3 Dust Shoot, and I think just showing one was enough, and there's another in the side deck. So, yeah, that's a bit of a breakdown of the main.
Sweet. Yeah, you want to go ahead and get into the side deck?
Yeah, of course. So we have the Exileds, which I brought in most matchups, as I said, for the DD Assailant, because there just was not a lot of aggro I faced. And especially because players were siding into like control packages, and this is a nice out to tear that's searchable. Archer, also roadable, but I never faced a burn or anything, so I never brought it in. Azura, I played one Stein RGT deck, and it actually won me the match, so I was glad I had it in there. And also, this card is great with Robbin Goblin as well. You can clear all your opponent's monsters and then just have like Reaper attack direct and rip 2. Like, it's actually quite good in this deck. I almost thought about maining this, but I wanted cards that would stay on the field longer in case I wanted to, get support out there or something like that. But yeah, great card. Jaugen, next up, did also win me my Stein versus Steingate. So shout out to Jaugen. It held up the board presence for a couple turns that I needed to buy time for. The 2 Cypher, I think this card is really, really good, and sometimes opponents might side out Nox because they see you're on a warrior package and they don't, and then you just set Cypher Soldier and then they, they'll attack into it with the Zumbire or something. But I didn't bring it in that much because I didn't face warrior. I brought it in once versus Kit because I knew he was playing return, and that list can sometimes play Blade Knight, so that's the only time I really brought it in. One walk for burn that I didn't play. Smashing, I would bring in for also aggro, but again, did not play much aggro. The Book of Moon, that was just a versatile card. I also brought it in against the Steingate matchup, and it saved me that match. And it also, it can reflip. It can stop Reaper from dying a lot of the time too. But this could be another card for sure. The 2 Sakus I actually brought in a lot versus just a lot of the time, because going second, I think it's a decent card. It ate a lot of Sooks, which was great. It was stopping my Mataza from dying or Kaiku from dying. So actually I brought it in more than I expected, and it actually kind of rewarded me for playing a bit more aggressively, because I could play aggressively. Like, I'd put like spies in attack mode and attack for 24 and then set a Saku, and I actually like would bait out their aggro monster, unless it was breaker, and then I just look like a fool. But you run that risk. And then one Dust Shoot just to add a bit more variety and just really make the opponent think twice about what they're doing, whether they're setting that back row in their hand or they're not. And the same goes for the Zing. The Roar I also brought in for Reasoning Gate, and I saw all my side cards versus Reasoning Gate. That doesn't normally happen, so
Powerful.
I'm glad it did. So that saved me that match as well. And then the Dust Tornado, just to also add a bit more resilience against burn and warrior, and just to mix things up too with Sing, because you'll have players who will set 1 and set 2, and then they'll be like, go ahead, Zing me. I remember Kit said that live on stream, and then I was like, no, I just got an MST, or I just got a Dust Tornado. I think I got an MST in that instance, but the concept still applies. Sure. It's just about shaking things up. So, yeah. But on the day, I'd say the strongest cards were Zing, Mataza, Reaper for sure, Minecon and Spy, and of course BLS. I got really lucky and top decked that. in my top 8 match versus Kenny in game 1. And that was on stream, and that was just really, really lucky. But yeah, I think the light darker ratio was really good overall. So yeah.
Nice. Well, the first thing that I noticed, well, I guess not the first thing. The first thing that I noticed when I looked at the list was actually Spirit Reaper. Second thing I noticed was Robbin Goblin. But then as I was looking over it today, a little bit more to prep for this, just looking at the numbers of cards and then just like some interesting choices. Some I've got a little bit more questions for later, but like the number of judgments. We've got the Zing here. We have the Robbin Goblin. Remaining 3 Spirit Reapers. We have like an unconventional warrior lineup here. And then like we've got the 2 mind controls, and then even looking at the side, we've got all of these one-ofs. The deck looks like very well tuned, and it looks like something that you've been playing around with for quite a while to try to make it like as optimized as possible. Would that be a correct assumption?
Yes and no. So okay. I mean, my deck building, it's both patterned and not. So if you check my very first topping list with zombies, I was playing Zing in the main with, I want to say 1 Solemn. And I just, I really like playing that in zombies because it can, I don't know. Zing is just really good with Reaper, and I knew that. So I knew I wanted to main it because I knew I was going to be maxing out Reaper. And I was like, and I think in that original list, zombie list, I was only playing 1 Reaper. It was from the Patreon 39. And okay. I was playing like 1 Reaper and 1 Zing and 1 Solemn, I think. But now I went up to 3, so I was like, okay, I gotta increase the Solemn because what if I have 2 Reapers on the field and I want to push and like go for a crazy hand rip turn, and I need that extra Solemn to do that, or I need that extra Zing to do that. So that's really where that ratio came from. So in that sense, that I had practiced that before. I tried to implement that before. But when it comes to the warrior lineup, that was just vibes. I think I was just like, what can be effective against the widest spread of matchups while also being good against Turbo? I know that kind of seems like a paradoxical question, but I was like, DD Salient can be really good. And also, yeah, as I said before, it's like it can stay around for a bit longer compared to other warriors like Blade Knight or maybe level 2 or Exiled. And same goes for Zambira. But yeah, that warrior lineup, those 5, I've never played together in a deck before. So that answers that.
Okay. All right. I mean, like the theory behind all of it makes a whole lot of sense. There are a lot more synergies that you pointed out that I would not have thought about if I had just looked at it. I'm not the best at picking up a deck and just like going with it and playing it perfectly anyway. So like it would take me time to figure out like a lot of the inner working parts in here. But speaking of like pure vibes for a warrior lineup, some might say that Mr. Donald Zalug has the best vibes of any warrior, and we're playing 3 Spirit Reapers. I know like this has staying power for Zaborg, so it helps out a little bit more there. But why no Dawn in the 55 anywhere?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, yeah, for one, I thought it was a bit redundant with Reaper. But also, I think that I feel like once you rota for Dawn, like, you commit to having Dawn on the field, and there's no Sakus in this deck like Warrior normally plays, and it's with only 1400 attack, it's harder to protect. But if you're able to protect a Dawn, like, it can go really, really far. And the other thing I don't like is that I don't like how Dawn can be snatched. It happens to me every time, I swear. And I just wanted to avoid that. So, you can rota for, in a similar position, you can rota for Mataza there, and like when you would attack directly with Dawn, you can attack with Mataza for 26. And I'm telling you, that 26 goes a long way, and it can win you games, and it did win me game one of the finals. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that. I think Mataza is a very underrated card. Like even in just like Pure Warriors. Shout out to Ludi, who plays Mataza all the time. Like the 2600 damage is huge. Being able to attack twice sometimes is huge. Being invulnerable to Snatch, Steal, Brain Control, sometimes Mind Control, Thousand Eyes Restrict. Comes up, it's a level 3, and pair it with Robbin Goblin. I know you mentioned before, like you can attack over their monster and then attack with Mataza. What if you just attack directly twice?
Oh yeah, it's you're doing quite well.
Yeah, I think Mataza, especially with it being a dark, like this card is incredibly underrated, and I'm actually very happy to see it here. And your reasoning makes a whole lot of sense. This thing hits like a truck, so
absolutely.
I can forgive not including Donald in the deck.
Shout out Don though, great card, and I hate facing it. It's very scary.
Yeah, very, very scary. Very good card indeed. My next question that I had was about the Solemn Judgments. You already explained it, and you didn't really see it because you can't see my Streamlabs right now, but you mentioned Warrior players looking at 2 Solemns and cringing, and I kind of pointed at me. that was one of the first things I noticed, and I'm like, that's just like, because I also think Solemn Judgment is, if not the best trap card in Go format, it's got to be at least top 3. So I usually, if I'm playing a deck, it's either 0 or 3 for me personally. So kind of interesting to hear the reasoning behind only playing 2. And I love that like the whole trap lineup is just like mind games. It is. And I think that fits so well in there with that. So I love that. I love the mind controls in this list. I love pretty much all of the theory that you had behind this. And that was, I basically all of the questions about like specific cards that I had about the deck, except for, we'll go back to Robbin Goblin here. I was told you sided this out every match. Is that true?
No, not every match, but that's
okay.
I think I know who told you that. But that was someone who was denying Goblin Science. But no, I definitely did side it out, especially when I won game 1, because going game 2, it's a very much a tempo card, and when you're up when you're going first, this card is so good. Especially when you like you have an idea of what the opponent's on already. So I actually would typically what I would do, it's mained. If I won game 1, which I think that when I won game 1, I would side it out. And then game 3, I would bring it back in, if there was a game 3. But yeah, I think that was kind of my plan, and especially because you can like do stuff like set Spy, set Goblin, or like set a Reaper and set Goblin and set up for a Rip the next turn. It's just kind of what I typically did. I mean, and there's matchups that this is not good against, like Warrior. Like, they're going to have one card of their hand, and they're just going to, like, Saku your attacking monster anyways. Or hit this with a Dust Tornado or something. So, again, like, this was mained because I knew I was going to be against a Turbo Heavy field. And so, that's why. But, yes, it's true. It's not something I kept in every match. But there were some matches where I kept it. But yeah, it's something I'm still trying to figure out with the side patterns and everything, because it's back and forth. You want to keep the mind games active.
Sure, that makes sense to me. I know, like you've talked several times about how like this deck is built with turbo in mind because you expected the turbo field. Do you think this deck is like specifically just a meta call for an expected turbo heavy field, or do you think this deck has legs like in the aggro matchups as well? Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, we've got triple Spy here, we've got triple Reaper with the DD Assailant, We've got mind controls and Zaborgs and stuff that aren't amazing in the aggro matchups, but it looks like this deck, wouldn't struggle too badly in those matchups, right?
Yeah, it's a great question and something I'm currently in the lab trying to figure out. The main issue is the light transfer post, because you're gonna decide the Zaborg's out. I mean, maybe you couldn't, but I just feel so bad at like verse warrior
Right.
tribute a monster and then have your Zaborg get solemned. I mean, you could always solemn back, but like, yeah, it just doesn't feel too great. So I've been looking into like, I know for lists similar to these, like Nate Dogg has like a roulette barrel on the side deck, which is like a beefy
Yep.
defense light monster, and just to keep BLS live. I even thought at some point to like go to a 0.0 return and just like side in into zombies with already having Reaper,
Okay.
and just have put like turtles and cookies in and stuff. But that's like that takes up a lot of cards because then you want to bring in the Book of Lives and whatever. So
Right.
but yeah, I'm still figuring out the warrior side. I do like having the Zing and the Main and the Solemns. So and the Zambara and the DD Silent. Like yeah, there is some hedging against that matchup, so it's not impossible to win game one. But yeah, I wouldn't really know that I did not face warrior once. So yeah, that's what I have a lot of aggro players on my War League team, so it's helpful to test against them. So yeah,
That's true. Speaking of your War League team, for those of you who are interested in the War League stuff, my team is currently playing against NovaEthos' team this week.
Ironically.
So yeah, it was, I didn't even know that was happening when I asked you to come on here.
Yeah.
That was just kind of a little added, nice little bonus there.
Yeah, for sure.
So after the GGP, obviously you won. The deck is perfect. Nothing can be changed. But would you change anything going forward?
Yeah, I would. There's a bunch I would change.
Okay.
I'd probably cut the second Zing in the side. Just because even against Warrior, I feel like 2 Zing can be bricky, and it's really the best when going first as well, anyways. So, I'd probably cut that out of the side. I probably cut the Book of Moon as well. We're playing Smashing, and not too many flips, so I think most of its purposes are just for, I don't know, playing against a Decree deck maybe.
Sure.
And yeah, I probably would add in that roulette barrel I just talked about. And I would... Oh, one card I want to try out is Green Kappa.
Yes. Yes.
Because it goes with this deck, right? First of all, it's a warrior, so you can search it. It's kind of obvious if you like search it and then set it. But it plays into the whole thing because you're like, oh, he is Reaper up, or he gets potential of dropping Reaper. I gotta set my hand. That's the set card he set, right? No, flip it up. It's Green Kappa. I just want to do that like so bad. So I'm gonna try this out. I think this card is also an underrated warrior, and I've seen top players bring this card in. So
Yeah.
I think it has some legs.
Yeah, I've seen Moxie's talking about this card before. In a positive light, which kind of surprised me. But yeah, Green Kappa, God, I love this card. If you can make Green Kappa work, then GOAT format will be solved.
Yeah, no, if there's a deck it would work in, might be this one.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense.
So.
Would you make any changes to the main deck?
I mean, the monster lineup I think is quite solid. I wouldn't change much there. I really like how it played out. For certain tournaments and matchups, I might cut a Minecon for a Saku, just like, or like cut a Minecon for a Smashing, just based on how I'm feeling, or maybe I'll add that Prima in. It's just like, I think the best part about this deck is just because the trap lineup is so tricky, just making it ever rotating, not knowing, the other part about 2 Psalms I didn't point out is like your opponent will always your opponent might think you're on 3, and so they'll always try to play around that third. Now the list is out, so they know that they could play around 2. However, there might be a third getting introduced at some point. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, that's when you hit them with the surprise third solemn, and then
Mm-hmm.
they just mauled.
Yep.
Love
Exactly.
it. All right. Well, that is the deck. We have the actual like we don't have a dueling book replay, but we have the actual like live replay from the YouTube, and we are gonna go over that now for y'all. All right, and we are here with the finals match. Spoiler alert: NovaEthos wins this. Um, I'm sure you all already knew that with the congratulations in the beginning, but yeah, kind of nice here. NovaEthos is playing against Ash is Spicy, who you all may know as Fungus Among Us, one of the GOAT format staff that we have. But yeah, let's start off with the nice gentleman's handshake, and NovaEthos is a little bit more familiar with this match, so I'm gonna kind of let him sort of guide us through what's going on here. And I can.
So this is actually a run back. So we played in Swiss, and it was a very close match, and he won 2-1, and so we both had an idea of what we were playing. Each other was playing coming in. But yeah, shout out Fungus. He had a great run throughout the tournament, and have been having good success online as well. So yeah, shout out to you if you're watching. So
Absolutely.
yeah, here I forgot what I had in my hand, but I
Looks
think
like we have.
Songon have a knock.
That's a Zaborg.
Yep, nice. I think it might be Blame Night after that or something.
I can't really tell which one that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got quite a few monsters though.
Yeah, actually, if you look behind me, there's like that black curtain. The streamer. Oh, shout out by the way to Quentin for doing the stream. He was excellent, and this is a beautiful looking stream.
Absolutely.
But there's actually a mirror that I had a curtain on, and it was like barely being held up. So that was a danger of falling every moment. But yeah, here's the deck's doing what it does best. Was lucky that back row was not mirror or anything, although that's why Songun into Reaper, they're paired really well together. Go for a nice push. I hit a deco,
very nice,
which is fine. But it also, another thing about Reaper too, it really forces out your opponent's back row. You can really get pretty decent reads early on, based on the result of whether the attack goes through or not. So
right.
Yeah, so he gets into graceful here. I don't remember if he was holding that. I can't, I've watched this back a couple of times, but
Sure. That's I noticed, just to sort of go back to turn one a little bit, you summoned Sangan instead of setting it. And that kind of brought up a different question. Did you do a lot of like turn one summon Spirit Reaper? Just to sort of render Nox useless?
Yeah, I did do that quite a bit actually. Sometimes I would take the risk and set it, but I did enjoy summoning in attack mode, and especially if I know they're going to be on turbo, like I'm going to do that more frequently. So
yep, having a really big think on this Graceful Charity.
Yeah, if you want to play this back in like 1.5 or 2x, I think actually probably might be better.
Sure.
And we can pause it at important junctures, just kind of like a dueling book replay. Yeah, we'll see how 1.5 goes.
Yep, there we go. Got the breaker coming out.
Breaker hitting the Zing, unfortunate. Yeah, that happened a lot. Zing would get hit, or Robbin would get hit a lot. Fortunately, here the Thunder Dragon was seen after the Grace.
Right. Yeah. I point that out in almost every video where I'm playing. I'm like, well, at least the Thunder Dragon came after.
Mm-hmm.
Always feels so
Yep.
bad whenever the opponent just goes Thunder Dragon, Graceful Charity, and you're like, well, it's basically just draw 3 at that point. It's kind of
Yep.
one of the things I think is okay about Breaker hitting Robbin Goblin is like it's kind of just like a lightning rod a little bit. Like you're
Yeah,
not playing
it
level
is.
limits and gravity binds and stuff to protect, but usually if you get like the one rip from Robbin Goblin, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
He ranked here in like my main phase, which I thought was an interesting play. I think he was doing it to play around Zaborg, which makes sense.
sure.
But that does kind of let me know that he doesn't really have anything to stop Zaborg.
Exactly. Yeah, especially with that back row like not being used on the Spirit Reaper.
Yeah,
I pretty much read that's not doing a whole lot over there.
yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what it actually was, but
Yeah, as I
now
said,
I
it'd
get
be interesting if
Graceful,
we get to
so
see it.
yeah.
Yeah, we've got that Heavy Storm. We have the Zaborg. I believe there's a Mataza in hand as well.
Oh, so here I actually misplay. I have BLS in hand, and I have 2 lights, and I just pitch. I don't pitch either light. I think. Okay, so it's Regeki Break.
Interesting.
Which is
We opted to not
interesting.
break this Reaper. Yeah. Okay. Got rewarded because we, eventually found the Thunder Dragons, but
Yeah, I think if I might have wanted to attack there first.
that makes sense.
Because if we had been reading, it was dead. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would have worked out. I think it would have worked out the same way. I think if you attack, the Raigeki break still goes off there, but maybe not.
Yeah, here I'm just kicking myself because I have BLS in hand, and I literally could have brought it out if I went Breaker, pop the back row, and then slam BLS,
Right.
and I would have just done for 4,400 or something.
Yeah.
But now I'm just kind of sitting on. I think I top decked a Spy here, or at least I had a Spy here.
Oh, Moth.
Oh no, it's my Moth
Okay.
that I searched. Okay, so now I get Graceful back, or actually I have a Big Think, but I remember I got Graceful back. This is a Big Think.
Yeah, you do have a Snatch
and I
Steal
remember I
in
still
hand,
had
I believe. So
yes,
I
yep.
think the Graceful makes sense just because maybe that's not. Oh, that's BLS. Yeah, BLS.
It's BLS,
Zaborg,
BLS Snatch and Zaborg, which is a strong hand.
Yeah. Getting Graceful back,
but-
I think, makes a whole lot of sense here. Oh no.
Yeah, but then the card decent. Then I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I just blew my chance to get BLS. BLS out.
A heads up play from Fungus attacking into the monster first, though.
Yeah,
before the
that was
card
a strong
destruction.
play for sure.
Yeah.
And that's how you get to the final when making plays like that.
Yep.
Um,
Pretty stocked graveyard over there, but I mean, cards wise, like card quantity wise, you're doing just fine here.
yeah.
There's
So
a line
this is
call.
great play. It's one of my favorite plays of the day. I think I don't remember. I think I go into attack mode here. Although it doesn't really matter because I think I'm going to stack it for Zaborg.
Sure.
Or no.
We have
Also, shout out to everyone in the chat who was tuning in and supporting. I watched it back and it was just really great to see everyone from War League and the just showing up who was available too. So
absolutely. Actually, I like not summoning Zaborg here.
yeah, I agree. I think I was waiting for a better hit because hitting a breaker didn't feel that good.
Exactly, yeah. And now, if Fungus, especially down on cards, if he follows up with a face down monster, you can hit that. You have a better answer to take out the Spy. Zaborg could take out, of course, a face down and the Spy. And you can just sack the Zombra that's not going to be able to attack directly anyway.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I do here.
And pick up. There's the Mataza. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I should have sacked the Zaborg like you said.
I get it. This pushes a little bit more damage, I guess.
Well,
No, no,
not really,
no.
because I
Yeah, yeah,
can't.
you're
I
right.
can't. I have to attack with the spy. So I think I again misplayed here. I think sacking the yeah, and then if I had spy on the field instead, I would have swung for 12.
This
Um,
is this is like your ninth match of the day.
it is. I
Um,
was so cooked.
the lights are bright, the pressure's on. This is the finals. Only one person gets the invite.
Yep.
I tell people all the time when I'm recording, it's like, look, just talking while playing is distracting enough to make mistakes.
Hmm.
Just being in this position is even harder, I think.
Yep.
So tiny little things like that are gonna happen.
Yep.
But that's yeah, that's the beauty of watching things back and learning. That's how you get better.
So that BLS is signed by you. Did you know that?
That's signed by me? Oh, that is
Yes.
my signature. When did I sign it? Oh, I remember that now. I forgot he made me sign a BLS and send it to him.
Yeah. So there you
Awesome.
go. He was roughing you hard all day.
Shout out to BLS.
But yeah, then a ring and then sneaky Mataza for
Yup.
26, and that's why Dawn wouldn't have gotten game there.
That's true. That's true. Mataza coming in clutch. Shout out to the Cup BLS though.
No, for real. That was iconic once I saw it. Oh,
I
I'm glad I
can't
remember that
remember.
now while we're going over it.
I think BLS was the only card that I signed for him. I haven't mailed off a whole bunch of cards. That was one I had to mail.
Hmm.
Actually searching the chat now.
Yeah.
I think it was. What are we doing with the siding here? I don't want to get too bogged down on the sign card.
No, I mean that is really cool. No, I recognize your signature instantly. I'm like, yo, shut up. But yeah, I think. Let's see. I'm probably taking Goblin out. I remember during Swiss, I kept it in for him,
Okay.
and it bricked really bad. So I think I'm taking Mataza out because I know that's not as strong. Although I think I don't know. I was going back and forth, as you can see. I was like,
Yeah.
what do I even? I think I took Mataza out, and I took Robbin out, and I took I think I took a one Minecon out, I believe, and then I sided in.
Okay.
I sided in Exiled, and there's two Sakus go in, I think.
Okay. No, I completely understand that. It seems really weird to people who haven't played like the Warrior Turbo matchup a lot.
Yeah.
Most people like you see a lot of mind controls in the Warrior side to bring in like specifically against Turbo, but
Yeah.
whenever you realize that Turbo changes their plan and they start bringing in the attackers and the Zombras and stuff like that, the mind controls definitely get worse, and the Sakus definitely get better. So I actually like that as much as it seems sort of like not an obvious way of siding.
Yeah. Yeah, I know people during earlier in the tournament they were like, I thought you're on return, I thought you were on burn, I thought you were on like control. I don't know, people like and that's why I like to play what I play is because even that bit of hesitation I think can help give an advantage. Especially when I'm already starting to think, okay, what might they be siding in? Fungus had already played against me, so I knew he had a better read on my sideboard, so I think I tried to mix it up, and we talked a bit after our Swiss match about what was in our sides a bit, so we kind of gave we were just having friendly chatter, so I was telling him a bit about my deck, and he was explaining a bit about his. And I know he played Mask of Darkness in the side, so I was expecting to see that.
Bit of an underrated card there.
Yeah, I actually thought I thought he had it on the main when I first played him, because I also saw Wing Blast, and those two kind of can go hand in hand sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, here we have
brutal lock.
Yes.
Ooh.
Also, yeah, shout out to Mrs. Ethos, Poyo Ethos. She's in the chat. She says Poyo Ethos checking in. That's my partner. She was really, really supportive throughout the whole day. And yeah, so shout out to her for sure. And shout out to Other Worlds. They're in the chat as well. And yeah, I had no idea this was being streamed until about halfway through the tournament, and then I saw how it was looking, and I was like, "This is awesome! I hope I get on." And then I was like, round 2.
You were on 3 different features, right?
Yes, I was. I was in the last round of Swiss, and then top 8, and then here.
Very nice.
So, anyway, sorry to tangent. I think I was aboard here and hit his set. And this was an example, though, of me getting aggressive with Spy. Just getting it without getting right out in attack mode is something I did quite frequently.
Oh, the dork.
Yeah, the dork is fungus technology. And, you know, I think he's playing it as an alternative to Zombara. So it proved quite effective right there. Man, here I'm just sending it.
I know you said, like, this is 3 games, but with this start, I know, like, Fungus has a whole bunch of cards in hand, but man, this start is incredible.
No, I definitely threw this game.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know that's not what you're trying to say, but especially after the dust shoot here, you see as Deco, 2 TD, no Assailant, and then the Serpent, and not a lot of offensive cards. I think MST is the last card. So I even know it's no whole hand at this point, and with 2 beaters, like, I should be kind of closing this out here. But then he jars, so he gets something that I don't know, and actually I think he gets into duo right here.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
And he holds it.
Interesting. You had 2 cards in hand.
I did. Maybe because he was low.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
That's an interesting hold.
So he set the duo, set the MST. And I think my set is a Solemn.
I believe that is correct, yes.
Yeah, here I'm like, oh, I'm so close. Like, it's looking good. Kaiku up.
Yeah. It gets even harder here. Like, when it's just like you've got a stranglehold on the game, it's like things get hard.
Yeah, so then EMSTs, which I knew, and I got rid of the Solemn, which I remember setting that knowing it was going to get hit. So I think my other set is...
Your other set is Solemn too, right?
Oh yeah, you're right, it is. I think I had drawn to heavy there.
Ooh.
And I think here he top decked a Spy, so it threw off my read, so I think I go into attack with... with the Kaiku instead of Zaborg. And I think the Moth is set, and I just don't have any good spell cards in my graveyard right now. I was literally so I attack, he got the Spy in, he snuck it in. As you can see, Michael Gray in chat says, "You Storm GG." And that's exactly right at that very moment. I was like, I can't believe I didn't use Storm. Like, I was like, no way. And I have to Solemn it because that's what it's there for, I guess. But this is what I was talking about before, and I was like, this is a bad Solemn. I should have just heavied.
Well, I mean, if you heavy, you still don't win the game here. But
yeah, that's true. Like, I didn't know that.
That doesn't make the play that doesn't mean the play is correct. But
yeah,
it definitely would not have been GG.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's
if you
that's
are
some,
scrub for life, you would get the GG there. But
well, that's something. After I played Alvarado, I didn't play 100% optimally either.
sure,
But he said after, he's like, you don't have to play 100% optimally
correct.
to win a tournament. And I took that to heart. It made me feel better that he said that, because I know I didn't play 100% optimally. And playing for so long, it's mentally taxing, and
Yeah, for sure.
so
Yeah, people
yeah,
people make mistakes a lot more often than people actually think. Even
yeah,
like the top players. So yeah, we're talking like, I don't know. Most of these that you've pointed out as being mistakes are like little baby things almost. So it's like,
yeah,
it's gonna happen. You
yeah.
still like, if you're playing at the level where you go 5-1 in Swiss and then win 3 rounds in a row to win a tournament, you're still playing at a very high level.
That's true. I think I might be too hard on myself.
I'm the same way.
I think game 3 I played really well. And we'll get to that next. But
Sure.
yeah, right now he's just coming through. This Suk is putting in work and killed the Zaborg and got the Kaiku. And he is now going to Wing Blast and set me back just for a smart tempo play. Because I think he has BLS in hand at this point. And I'm just like, wow. So shout out to Fungus for hanging tough in this game too, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think looking at it now, even if you had used the Heavy Storm, I think he just turns it around. Like, you're never clearing this other spy.
Yep, I agree.
So
I would need some sort of back row to stop the Suk. But yeah, so he had a really good counter hand. Yeah, I wish the Moth I had a better target than like.
mm-hmm.
I think I had another. I don't even remember, but it's not very good. I did not have much. And the whole time I was just sitting on. I had that Moth. That Moth is still set, by the way. It was set for like 3 turns, and I just didn't see any good spells. I see this knock here, but
we hit the Night Assailant, I guess. Yeah, I mean, no reason to flip up the Moth again here. Heavy's not doing anything. Nock's not doing anything. Are you playing with all OG prints?
You mean like non-errata?
Yeah, like the original printings of the cards. Because I see that's a Pharaoh Servant, Nobleman of Crossout. You've got the Metal Raiders, Heavy Storm. I saw an Ultra Solemn Judgment in there.
Actually, yeah, those are the ones I actually just happen to have in my collection.
Nice.
I found that Pharaoh Servant knock in bulk.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it.
Very nice.
Yeah, but the Heavy I packed and the Solemn I packed in those 25th anniversary sets they released. So
okay.
So they're not like the OG. I can't say that, but
here comes Breaker. Yeah, that's definitely not a Magician's Force Breaker, so I take back everything I said.
Yep. No, I wish. I respect anyone who. I mean, Fungus definitely has some blinged out cards for sure.
Yeah.
Especially the signed VLS.
I was going through my collection. I'm like, because I thought the only one that I had was my IOC copy. And I found it, and I was like, I have a super. I can just send you that. So.
Nice.
I'm glad I had that one from back in the day. Like 2011, 2012, when I was playing it, somewhere around there. I am old.
Yeah. I mean, just because you were playing it back, that doesn't mean you're old. It could still be playground, and you kept in good shape.
That's true. Instead, I was graduating from high school.
Yeah.
But we've gotten a little off track here, but it's a spy
It's all
wall.
good. I mean, I lose right here because I knew as soon as I flipped them off, I'm like, he probably has
Yeah.
BLS. I'm just gonna die. So I did.
Kuhb BLS coming in for game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fierce and mighty. So
All right.
yeah, going to game 3, I'm like, wow, feels bad. I felt like I was really close. But I knew I was, I was still very confident in the matchup. So I think a sign of smashing out here.
Okay. Do we bring back
And
in
I
the
think I
Robbin
sided.
Goblin?
Did I? I think this match. Wait, did I? I don't remember.
I didn't get a view on it. I see the smashing ground there, but that might be what you're taking out.
I might have brought a Zing in.
That makes sense too. Definitely think this is a matchup where Zing is good. That looked like smashing 2 Sakus and mind control.
I think I
coming
brought
back
in a Minecon, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think Robbin came back in because, well, one, I was just like, I think I was just like, I knew that the last time we played, I just bricked on it, so I was having just a bad memory of that. And yeah, I think also it was just like, I didn't want to take any chances. Like, then again, like, Goblin does its thing, but I was just like, I think it was either a choice between Goblin or Zing, and I went with Zing. So
Sure. Yeah, I can't fault you on that. The viewers might, because we want Robbin Goblin, but
no, everyone wants Robbin, and the card's really strong. And I wish that did it make it onto the stream?
I hope it did at some point.
I think it did at one point.
Awesome. That's all we need then.
Yeah, maybe we can go back and find the frame where it popped up.
All right. We have the game 3 here. We're going first. Got a mind control. That's a good one to see there on the end of the hand.
Yeah.
DD Warrior Lady, not a bad start.
I know I had duo and Dushu. I held the duo, and I think I had set. I was really okay. So this was like there's some talk in the chat about what you sent back here. I sent back the Surf because I have Knock in my hand. Or sorry, I sent back the TD because I have Knock in my hand.
Okay.
Even though he has Regeki Break, this is just. It's a tough call because people say TD, and then if you send back the Serp, then he still has Snatch for the TD. If he searches for that, so I was thinking about that as well. So I don't know. That's kind of like a what would you do scenario.
That's a tough one. Also, like if you send back the Thunder Dragon, then your opponent doesn't have light or dark.
Yep.
And their deck isn't thinned for Pot of Greed, so
yeah, I thought about that too. So
yeah, that's a really, really tough decision. But Snatch on DD Warrior Lady is pretty good, but also like if that's what Fungus is doing turn 1, you're pretty okay with that.
Yeah, especially because, Snatchy Warrior Lady, and then it goes like, it gets rid of your monster as well. Like, that actually ended up avoiding that because I think I wrote it for Exiled here. Even though that feels kind of bad, but I just wanted to stop the bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, it's a -1, but like, you're pretty set up here, I think.
Yeah, so I do that here.
And I think your back row is a ring. I think that's what I saw.
Maybe. I feel like I would have not roted for Exiled if I had the ring, but we'll see.
I could have seen it correctly.
I'm still holding the duo because I know that he has Serp, and I was just waiting for Serp to hit the grave to use it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you do know about the Raigeki break over there, so
yep,
it's a decent chance you could pull that out.
Oh, the back row is a Zing, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's a Zing. Okay.
Pretty sure.
Okay, and of course, no activate because you know the One of the back
Regeki
row
break.
is a Raigeki break, so sure. And it was
Although,
live.
yeah, it is still live, and I think I eventually do activate it. I think not here. I think or maybe that's the thing. I don't know. I'm lucky he didn't draw into any aggro cards here. He gets graceful, and this is where sending back TD feels good.
Yes. Yeah.
He's gonna pitch the Serp, and so then that makes my duo alive.
Yep, there goes the Serpent. And I guess like even having the knock, there are only 5 lights presumably in the deck, so if Fungus draws Moth and sets it, then like literally has to draw into Thunder Dragon at some point to have lights at all. So I guess that's even more reinforcement to take the Thunder Dragon. I don't hate it at all.
Yeah. So here I'm gonna. Okay, so the Zing is the new set, and I know one of them is a Regeki break. So, and I know Serp's in the grave, so I want to force him to pitch an actual card. That's why I made this play here.
Yeah,
so he
make it an actual -1. I like that.
Yep. Then I go Breaker because I know it's Force.
Yep.
Or Saku, I think. And it gets in clean, so this is a big swing turn. And
oh yeah,
this is what this deck was doing all day. It was just there were always, and then the duo. So there was always one turn where I would just have a big tempo push, and this was that turn for this match. But it would always be this is like little interactions like Zing forcing out RB, stuff like that. So here I felt really good even though I was down on LP.
Yeah, no graveyard at all though, as far as monsters go. That's just like there's a dark with the spy, I guess, but cool.
Play a knock to be safe in case it was something new other than Serp, because I think that the set is Minecon, the new set. Maybe that's the old set. I keep mixing it up, but
I think that's the old set. That was your turn 1 set.
Yeah, that was my turn 1 set. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, now Breaker. It was a great card to draw into. I just needed to apply some pressure, any pressure. I've dropped top deck the knock, which was one of the best top decks of the tournament, like for sure.
That's insane. Hit Deco.
Yep, because I didn't have to use my Zaborg yet. Crazy top deck.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got the Zaborg rolled up too. Yeah, this is nuts. And you know one of the cards in hand is Sinister Serpent, so it's kind of just like a dead card chilling there.
Yep.
And I believe you have a Solemn Judgment down now too, right? Or
yes. Yeah, so now I was feeling really good.
Yeah,
the tempo was just totally swung in my favor after that one turn. Here's a Minecon. Which actually, so he held that Serp for so long. He went to NA and then to Deco and then to Spy. Which, well played. Because I thought that was Serp, like, except for like most of the time. But luckily, I got lucky on that Minecon there because that easily could have been the Serp. And then even luckier here, I don't hit the Serp. I don't think.
Hit the BLS. Hey,
I hit the BLS. And he was. I could totally see if he was B tilted there.
Taking the Thunder Dragon though, like.
Yep.
If he was left with Thunder Dragon.
Yeah, no, I think he just drew into it right there. I had the Solemn. I had the Solemn for it anyways, but.
Right.
Yeah, so he pitches. So now it's live. But
bad beats everywhere for Fungus in this one.
No.
And is there even a 4th card in the hand? No. So that's Serpent. So yeah, the board comes down here. That'll do.
Yep.
That'll do. Get us out of here. Just very, very emotionless.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to like pop off. Like the guy, I know he also drove like 4 or 5 hours to get to the venue, so he was probably exhausted. And he was such a good sport. He came and hung out and did the post-match interview with me. He was, very polite and a very, very good sport throughout the event. So shout out to Fungus. And yeah, but I wasn't gonna like pop up. I think I just stared at the camera for like 5 seconds. And that was my way of celebrating. But yeah, I mean, I knew it was a big accomplishment for me. I remember feeling like all like I had goosebumps. Like I was just like, wow, finally did it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten close a couple of times, and I haven't like I have the feeling of disappointment. I can only imagine the feeling of finally getting that Worlds invite that you've been going for, doing it with one of like your decks. Essentially, it's like Thunderclap with your sort of spice in there, with the Spirit Reapers that you brought over for the zombies that you're well known for, with the Robbin Goblin in the deck, all of that stuff. It's got to feel awesome. And once again, congratulations to you for taking this down and getting your Worlds invite. And we will definitely see you at Worlds. Oh man, in like 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's coming up really, really fast. But yeah, good luck to you there. Do you have any idea what you might be playing at Worlds? If you want to give that information out.
No, I mean, I could go back to zombies. I could play like some of the Strike Ninja stuff I've been trying out. I could also play this. I think this is probably the 3 main options. Or I could hook up a crazy brew. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see how I'm feeling closer to the day. If I want to take it like, or closer to the month, I should say. If I want to play something like really like more meta, like this was definitely not as spicy as some of my other brews.
Sure.
But it's always a back and forth. Like how much experimental do you want to be, and how successful do you want to be? And if there's a medium in there, there's that where you can have both, and I think this deck is a good example of that. But I know that like in the past I've had some really crazy brews, but yeah, so we'll see.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you at Worlds. Once again, congratulations on winning the GGP. Do you have anything else to say before we sign off here?
Not really. Like, keep the spice. Ignite the spice. It's just keep playing it, and the format's gonna be better for it, and especially in a format as old as GOAT. So yeah, I hope people are encouraged to do so after they can see that it can succeed at a high competitive level. But yeah, and yeah, thanks so much for having me on. I really, I know you like to promote spice, and you have so many spicy builds of your own. So yeah, love tuning in and seeing what you're up to as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it though.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Always welcome on. Maybe doing some more Jeopardy or something in the future. May get you back on that, or maybe maybe you'll win Worlds with some spicy stuff. We can get you back on here for that.
That is a future that would be insane. But yeah, we'll just have to tune in October and find out.
Absolutely. We're going to put it out there in the universe. NovaEthos, GOAT Format World Champion.
Wow. That's a sentence I never thought I would have heard. But who knows? I didn't think I was going to be champion in anything. But yeah, now GGP Maryland champion's pretty cool.
It could absolutely happen. But yeah, once again, thank you for coming on. That is going to be our video. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back with the next one.